Hello, loves. Hello, hello. Hills here from the Blue Flame. How are we all doing? I'm feeling very yummy. I'm actually recording this almost exactly at the moment that the Venus-Jupiter conjunction happens. And we're gonna harness that creative, magnetic, cardinal grand cross initiatory energy to bring through some mutability, some mutability. Today we're going to talk about what's happening over this coming week as Uranus, in this moment just beginning, crosses in T square the nodes of destiny, something that will be exact on the 12th of June. And the 14th meets us with a Gemini super new moon. Now, let's begin with this 9th day of June. We've been talking a lot about it, both in the portal and here on YouTube. This day is so full of oomph and voom. And you can see behind me here that a T is attuning to these energies. As we move through this current, on the 11th of June, Mercury, who is currently playing with Medusa, Saturn, and Pallas, will be crossing through the stellar dimension of Sirius. On the 13th, Venus is going to shift out of the hearth and home of Cancer and into the 0 point of Leo, while Mercury, also on the 13th of June, just a little bit past now the stellar dimension of Sirius from our cosmic astrological earthly point of view, begins retrograde shadow. So this week is starting off with this massive, brilliant conjunction, which, if you look at the sky as the sun is setting, will be quite well visible, as Sirius is coming into its closeness of conjunction with the sun, which actually occurs around the 6th or 7th of July. We tend to celebrate it on the 7/7. But this point of the year, we find that Sirius and the sun have come so close together that Sirius has disappeared from our earthly perspective. So Mercury, the messenger, is passing through this stellar dimension just as the sun is starting to come towards it as well. And we can feel this diamond light, this prismatic, expansive blue-white light as magnetism. As Venus and Jupiter on this day, the 9th of June, join together, we are playing with the expansion of our capacities for receiving. Capacity for receiving. As Venus comes into the 0 point of Leo, we're creating from that space. And as Uranus, the awakener, lightning bolt, revelations, meets in square to the nodes of destiny, north in Pisces, south in Virgo, as they are preparing for their last month, their last 30 days or so in those signs, with Hecate, the torch holder, guardian of the crossroads, in conjunction with the North Node, we could be very accurate in saying we are awakening to our true north. We are coming into greater relationship with that which we call forth, with our capacity to magnetize, to call in that which is true for us, and to shift out, to repel that which is not. The North Node in Pisces invites us to feel everything. It invites a higher heart perspective. It invites us to feel that we are dreaming this embodied dream, that we are, in fact, dream weavers. The South Node in Virgo helps us to shed anything that encumbers our soul. The Virgin being whole, unencumbered. This entire transit, this 18 months that we have been playing in these North Node, South Node waters, has been inviting us to feel our unique interaction with the divine, to feel that wholeness of our soul, and to embody it. Part of the magnetic resonance of Venus is the appreciation of the sensual pleasures of life, of the physicality of the tastes and the fabrics, the smells, the aromas, the luxury, right? Feeling these senses and that they are a gift. Now, one of the aspects of Pisces North Node is feeling the pain of embodiment as well, and coming into a new relationship with that, to understanding that part of the experience is shedding layers to make space for more of the soul, to find those places where atoms split, to feel how we are both creating and destroying when we come up and smell the rose, gathering the pollen into our nose. So, as Uranus awakens us in this transit to the path, all of the potential paths before us, as Hecate standing at the true north holds the torch and says, beckon, 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 listen to the sound of your soul, follow the road. Your heart is calling you home. Fire heart, Pisces. We are, let's feel for a moment. We are awakening also to how, this is Uranus and Gemini, the way that we communicate physically, speaking, singing, mentally, our thought processes, subconsciously, unconsciously, that this is magnetizing, that this is creating the world in which we are involved. So as we awaken to these truths, some of what we shed is those false stories, those false narratives of who we were told we were supposed to be, or who we were told it was best to be, what success looked like, what it meant to be a male, what it meant to be a female, what it meant to be a mother, what it meant to be a father, a sister, brother, aunt, uncle, so on and so forth. What it meant to be an American, what it meant to be an African. All of these stories and labels that we have piled on top of ourselves. This beautiful interaction says, no more. Find the ones that are your truth, that sing to your soul. Allow those to be what you walk and talk and sing and dance in the world. As this T-square continues to move through, on the 14th or 15th, depending on your location, on this beautiful blue marble we call Earth, the Gemini super new moon will occur. This super new moon is occurring at 24 degrees of Gemini in an exact trine to the stellar dimensions of Arcturus and Spica. Now, Arcturus has an expression of community hub. It is a place of transit, a place where souls move between dimensions. It is a trans-dimensional transit hub, we could say. Spica, which exists from our earthly point of view and our astrological point of view in the Western astrological circuit, is exactly conjunct. Both are at 24 degrees of Libra. Now, Spica has a different template than Arcturus. Spica is more a location for healing, a space where a soul can go and kind of have a spa treatment. We'll call it a spa treatment. We got all this Venus energy. Why not? Crystalline, light body healing chambers. If a soul in particular will say an particularly trying earthly incarnation has some baggage, some wounds that have been taken on, rather than going straight into the life review process, first, a nice trip to the healing chambers. And Spica is one of the locations where you'd find these. It is a dimensional portal of healing. And it also has, like Sirius, that blue-white shift light. The blue light is very healing, very healing. It burns clean, like the blue flame, right? During this trine between the sun and moon and Arcturus and Spica, we will find Jupiter still at 25 degrees of Cancer, now conjunct Isis. So Venus shifts off and enters Leo, while Isis, priestess lineage of Venus as well, these two energies work together. Let's feel here how we want to say this. The energies of Venus, the planet, when we are working with the planet Venus, are all inclusive of the feminine archetypes. It's not simply Aphrodite, right? So when we're talking about Venus, Venus holds within its beingness the energies of the mother, the energies of the maiden, the energies of the crone. It is the feminine creative principle, magnetic resonance. So Isis is one of the threads of Venus. Now, Isis happens to be one of the threads of Venus that is most closely connected to Sirius. It is the priestess lineage of divine union, the coming together of the Sophia and the Christos, the bringing together of the body, the physicality, and the stellar light, the divine light. This is Isis, priestess lineage, rose line lineage. This is Yeshua Magdalena as well. Interestingly, Magdalena will be starting to approach the south node as we come to this Gemini super new moon as well. Jupiter and Isis will be continuing the cardinal grand cross that begins today as Venus joins Jupiter. In this cardinal grand cross, we have the Arcturus Spica union in Libra. So we find Jupiter and Isis tickling Arcturus and Spica as Arcturus and Spica trine exactly that Gemini super new moon. Now remember, from the Taurus super new moons get you in deeper. They have a unconscious, subconscious pulling up, right? They connect you to that introspective energies of the black ray. Across the wheel in Capricorn from Jupiter and Isis, we find the rose dragons in retrograde. Now, the rose dragons have that very compassionate Kuan Yin sort of energy. They help soothe the rough edges of these sorts of journeys. So here we can feel that healing chamber of Spica. And we can feel moving retrograde in the sign of our foundations, of our karma and dharma, Capricorn, the rose dragons aiding in this healing energy, bringing that soft pink rose quartz light to the proceedings. While over in Aries, we still have Eris, their goddess of chaotic creation. And by chaotic creation, we connect in with that truth that every act creates. And every act of creation is also an act of destruction, but even more to the point. Energy is never created, and neither created nor destroyed. What we are actually connecting to is the transformational truth. As we come into an incarnation, we transform everything that we interact with, transforming through our awareness, through our presence. Now, Venus on this day of the super new moon in Gemini will now be at 2 degrees of Leo, which means in an exact square to the Shapley supercluster in Scorpio. You may remember, if you caught that energy update back at the beginning of May, end of April, that Shapley supercluster activates observer mode. The energy of as above, so below. Everything that our quantum physicists have touched in on, that nothing seems to be occurring when no one's looking, is true in the subatomic as it is in the macrocosmic. And so we have these energies of the great attractor. We have these energies of the Shapley supercluster, and we have these energies of the new supercluster that they have just recently discovered sitting behind Shapley, acting as the eyes of the universe, the eyes of the cosmos. They are receiving, just as our eyes receive information. Everything is coming in. When it's said in certain mystery schools, in certain cosmic creation lineages, that the universe began with great eye opening, this is part of the energy that we're talking about. This is an expression of that energy. So Venus, as we come into this Jupiter Gemini super new moon, squares. And Venus, remember, has that magnetic resonance. So not only can we connect in with our capacity for receiving, but also our capacity for giving. And we play with that truth that giving and receiving are the same thing, just like creation and destruction are the same thing. And all of it is simply the transformation of energy. So Gemini super new moon invites us to feel deeply within our being. Mercury, already in retrograde shadow, will be conjunct in Cancer with Anubis, guiding us, kind of like Hecate, through that underworld journey, so that we may gather and release and gather and release and find all of those spaces and places within us that are holding those old stories that no longer suit us, so that we may continue this transformative journey as more whole expressions of our being, of our soul mission. Feel here. Ooh. Our friend Saturn in Aries will, during this Gemini super new moon, be coming into its exact squaring with Sirius as well. We'll get more exact as we come into the following week and towards the solstice. During this, Medusa has shifted off and is heading towards Eris, while Pallas is now on the other side of Saturn, and Vesta has come up. So if what we were reconciling on this day during this movement on the 9th of June into the 10th and 11th, as we come towards the 14th of June, we are bringing Pallas to the same side of the dharmic journey as Medusa, as Vesta ignites the passion of this warrior goddess and invites the fire that burns in her loins to initiate. Here again, we're feeling that energy, and Pallas will be exactly square Sirius during this time. So we're feeling Pallas Athena, who is also a fertility goddess, though of a virgin temple, coming into that capacity of creation that is not about fornication, and then bringing in the divine union. Bringing in the divine union. We are just getting ready for Chiron to shift into Taurus. This will happen on the 19th of June, and I will have an update special about that because it's a big shift. But as we're moving through this completion point of Aries for Chiron, part of what we're potentially feeling is all of those places where we were told that the whole of ourself, the whole of our being, was not allowed to be present. And this is what Pallas Athena and Medusa are doing together throughout this cycle. They are helping to reconcile. And when we feel Mercury here, Mercury is a negotiator. We're feeling this, yes, this life restored. The card is behind me. The Phoenix rising energy. We're inviting ourselves to start to move into our next highest expression. This super new moon in Gemini is not exactly across the wheel from the galactic center, but it is very close to exactly across the wheel from the galactic center. So much of this energy, what we are experiencing as the nodes are crossed by Uranus, as we move through this Venus-Jupiter and then Isis-Jupiter conjunctions, as Mercury passes through Sirius and Arcturus and Spica and the Rose Dragons and Eris and all of these energies of Medusa and Pallas Athena move together with Saturn, is the foundational stories, the wounded stories that are so much a part of the human condition, and how we, through our presence, through our introspection, through our awareness, through our heart, and through our consciousness, can transform them. Nothing operates in stasis and nothing operates in isolation in this all universe. Every single breath you take, every flap of a butterfly wing has an effect. What are you affecting? As we move through this week, the invitation is to feel what is affecting you and what you are affecting, to bring yourself into alignment with your highest truth. My favorite mantras for this Gemini new moon are: I am a receiver of divine love and guidance. I am a transmitter of divine love and guidance. We can just sing that. I am a receiver of divine love and guidance. I am a transmitter of divine love and guidance. I am a receiver of divine love and guidance. I am a transmitter of divine love and guidance. Feel what it does in your body, in your cells, in your emotional body, in your mental body, when you intone those words. And perhaps as you move through each moment of your day, you can remember this as well. May this be in the highest good of all sentience. May this be in the highest good of all sentience. May this be in the highest good of all sentience. When we allow that to be our guiding principle, all that we do in the world from that place is an expression of love. Every breath, every meal, every walk, every shower, every moment at work, all of these things, when we come to it from that place of highest good of all sentience, not simply my highest good, though that works as well. May this be in my highest good. May this be an expression of my highest truth. When we move through the world, inviting everything that we do to be in the highest good of the all of creation, we are really operating in that Pisces North Node, higher heart terrain, aren't we? Everything else kind of falls into place. I think that's where I'll leave us. If it calls, I'm going to have a special platinum light body meditation and advanced light body protocols coming into the community atrium, the free area of our Blue Flame Apothecary on Circle, starting tomorrow, the 10th. There will be links below for all of the things. And however you journey through this beautiful energy of transformation, may you feel, as always, in the always, loved in the dimensions of the all and beyond the beyond. And please, if you're called to leave a comment, do that. Like, subscribe, all the things.